Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome and thank you for watching. I'm Gabrielle, retired medium in Germany, and I like to share some of my otherworldly experiences and insights. So, this is about the soul's perspective. So different from our own ego mind perspective. I think first I have to apologize at least a little bit for leaving you like hanging on the cliff. I got a bad cold and I'm still not fully okay. I need some more time to recover. That's why you didn't hear from me. And as this is the kind of same type of cold that I caught last year in autumn, and usually I never get that, I always had a very good immune system, and while others have 2 times a year their cold, their usual cold, I never had anything like that. So that tells me something that I get now another one, the same symptoms, and I needed to slow down because to me, something like that, getting symptoms or a dis-ease or illness, always is kind of a love letter, unwanted, by the universe showing you where you are not in alignment fully with your soul yet. So I needed to slow down and hang around on my bed or my couch and dig deeper where I'm not in full alignment yet, and to observe and watch what kind of thoughts do I have, what's coming up as emotion within me when I feel the intestinal cramps or a rush of fever and all the pains and aches in my joints. And well, it's uncomfortable, but I found quite a lot. Thought I had already dealt with that, but there is always a residue that needs to come out and be healed or be, well, just let go of or integrated. And as I like very much Byron Katie and her work, and I just posted in the community section a very valuable interview with her about her work and what's the main kind of characteristic of that. For example, if you come like with the sentence, "My mother didn't love me," she asks 4 questions. Is that true? And if you still say yes, then there has to come the second question. Can you be 100% true about that? Well, then you're already kind of collapsing a bit if you're honest with yourself and have to admit, I'm not quite sure. It's what I think. Yeah, the thing is, that's what you think. It does not have to be the reality. And well, then you have to examine, what does this thought make me feel? And if it makes you feel miserable or angry at your mother, and under the anger, the deepest layer in emotions is always sadness, grief, hurt, and pain, which we don't like to face, of course. The ego never likes to face something like that, so uncomfortable. Well, then Byron Katie asks you to turn around just a little part of the sentence and make it into not as it was, "My mother doesn't love me." Make it into, "I do not love me, myself. I do not love myself. And I, up to now, with 68 years, haven't met anyone who really love him or herself." Some say it, but you can feel if it's true or not. So that's what I had to deal with, and I'm still dealing with it. But nevertheless, just not from my list, because the list is kind of the construction my ego needs to think, oh, I still have some topics to make videos about. So that's kind of giving me a false sense of security. I felt no inspiration for a video, and I want to make my videos only with the inspiration of spirit world, or an impulse coming from my guides like a nudge, or from my soul, my higher self. But today, wondrously, although I already nearly panicked, I don't have anything to talk about. The inspiration came, and it's about the soul's perspective. And for that, I go back to an early memory. It was what I experienced in the life review in my near-death experience. So I was faced with various situations in the life review of my life, up to the age that I had when this experience happened. So with 24, luckily you haven't done too much bad stuff. It wasn't so much, but it was the soul's perspective that kind of freaked me out and threw me off. When I saw the situations like a film in front of me, there were some situations where I thought I had done good from my ego mind's perspective. And clearly a fast and rapid response from the soul's perspective, a much higher perspective, without the attachment of ego to personality and identification to whom you think you are. There was kind of the thumbs down, this, no, it wasn't good. I only thought it was good. And that happened several times while having the life review. So that really struck me, because what came out was always the opposite. When I thought I had done good, it was not by the soul's perspective. And when I thought I had done bad from the ego mind's perspective, it came out from the soul's perspective as, yes, that was right. And there were some situations where I yelled at someone because I was angry. And I thought, that must be wrong. You shouldn't yell at someone. And it came out, yes, that was right. And it took me a lot of time to deal with that and understand how this could be right. I had to let go of my ego mind's judgmental thoughts that yelling is wrong. No, sometimes it is not from the soul's perspective, because maybe you have to stand up for yourself. And if you can't do it already kind of strong, firmly, but nevertheless kind and friendly and soft, well, then you need yelling, to kind of make a distance between you and that person, that conflict, whatever it was. And even psychology tells you that some people only get the answer from you if you speak in the same way, tone, or manner like they do. They cannot perceive anything else that's not kind of the same frequency than they are. So in that point, yelling can be right, because they don't get it otherwise. And sometimes it may be for a different reason, but I found out whenever I thought from my ego mind's perspective I had done good, it was not from the soul's perspective. The soul told me, no, that was not good. And without getting into moral, judgmental thinking, it's just between good and bad, or you can change that into serving and fruitful, or not serving and not fruitful, just to take kind of this moral judgmental thing out of it that can lead you very much astray to where you only get more confused. So what I want to emphasize, because every one of us, when we will leave our body and transition sooner or later to the other side of the so-called veil, we all will have to face a life review. And one of the exercises of the Rosicrucians I was with, a white brotherhood, so to speak, was the practice of letting pass review the day in front of you before you go to sleep, and have a look at it and try out to look at it from the soul's perspective, because it's much better to kind of heal, integrate, or forgive and let go of stuff that wasn't really good day by day or week by week, than just letting it accumulate for a whole lifespan of maybe 70, 80 or 90 years or even more, and then get it all at once in your life review. And then you are kind of, wow, hit with the sledgehammer. So that's a very good exercise, to do that from time to time. It does not have to be every night before going to sleep, and that's a good hour, because then everything is more calm and quiet, and the activity and energies of the active day life are kind of calming down as well as you're preparing to go into sleep. And before going into sleep, you pass through very important brainwave states that are the signs of calming down and letting go and entering relaxation. You come kind of automatically into the alpha mind brainwave state, which you also enter when you're meditating, and you're passing through theta brainwave state, which is used in hypnosis, and that's going even deeper into the next phase, which is deep sleep. So in that state of relaxed mind, in alpha brainwave state or theta brainwave state, you're much easier to get access to different views, like adapting the soul's perspective and having a different look from a different angle at what you did during the week and how you are okay with that. In the end, it's no one else sitting there as a judge over you in the life review. I had no one around, no angels, no councils of elders or whatever kind of counseling me. It was just me and the situations I was confronted with. And the funny thing that happened with whatever person I dealt in that life review situation I was shown, I suddenly was jumping into their shoes, and I felt it from their side. And I felt what my words did to them, how they hurt them, although I did not meant it that way that time. I was not fully aware and was kind of blabbering around, that happens. I was so much younger then. And well, it just makes a very different approach to all of that. And it's good to have a different approach, because if you can also feel how the other one felt in the same situation, and of course you had your own feelings that you remember, then you get both sides, and it's always about integrating it into the middle Buddha spoke about, to become whole instead of being just on one side of the scale or the other side. It's really to be about being integrated. So And if you can't forgive yourself how you acted in a situation, well, you're carrying that kind of judgment out over yourself, consciously or not, and better it is consciously. So here goes my antique clock again. You can take that, if you like, as a sign from spirit world or not. Be free, feel free to allow yourself a different approach, a different viewpoint. Take a step out of your ego mind's usual thinking and judging and positioning things on this side and others on the other side. It's not about left or right. It's not about being political or whatever. It's not even about being religious. It's about what you believe about yourself. And one of the most simple and most true sentences about this kind of interaction with the so-called outer world or others is, do not do and do not treat anything like you would not want to be treated. So you can reframe that as what goes around comes around, or you get back what you give out. And the universe really is a mirror. That's why I made a video about the mirror principle, that we are just kind of projecting our inner world to the outside, onto the canvas of other persons. In reality, in truth, there is no other. You are dealing with a version you created, mostly, unfortunately, unconsciously, about the other. So you're still dealing with yourself all the time. That's why the Hindu tradition has this beautiful saying, Tat Tvam Asi. Whatever you meet and encounter, that is you. That's the meaning of Tat Tvam Asi. That is you also. And to get a real relationship with this so-called other, you have to strip off all your perspectives, all of your projections onto this other that you thought to be this way or that way or however. So there's a lot of inner work still necessary to be done to become whole again and to integrate what you maybe denied, couldn't see, our blind spots, that we don't like to see maybe as well. So we project them on others, and then it's so easy to say, oh, that guy is such an asshole. There is the asshole test that I came across listening to the video of a guy who has a community where people can come and work with them for a while. And because, of course, they had some bad experiences with people coming, talking a lot about spirituality and blah, 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 but they were not willing to take the shovel in their hand and work in the garden or do anything, just using it as kind of a vacation with a little bit of a spiritual taint, like wash me but don't get me wet. So to get rid of these people that are only disturbing the work of a community that needs hands-on, that guy invented the asshole test, and he asked the people who wanted to come on the phone, by the way, are you an asshole? And how would you react to that, The people that most deny it probably are assholes. We all have a little bit of an asshole aspect in us. And you're doing good and well to at least know about that and not deny it, categorically. So the ones that denied it strictly, he did not invite to come to the community. And the ones who started laughing or something like that, why do you ask me that? Or even saying, well, maybe I am a little bit of an asshole, who knows? I don't exclude that possibility. That even shows that a person is more used to the process of self-inquiry and self-observation, not taking every of their own thoughts that may not even be their own thoughts, because we're under the influence of positive light beings from spirit world and also of negative light beings from the dark path or the dark forces. They can put thoughts into our head, and they do this since very, very long. That's why we're all so programmed with religion and belief systems. And well, when I was told by my guides everything you think you know is wrong, in the first place, I took it kind of, well, maybe. But, when I came into the situation, head on, and I remembered that sentence from my guides, I thought, oh, wow, they're right. And in every experience, I kind of got this confirmed, that what I thought is wrong. And what I thought to be true and right, or what I learned in school, is all wrong. They're lying to us, and we believed it. So now you can blame them, whoever they are, and get into conspiracy. But that does not help you very much, as I am all about self-transformation. Start with yourself. Forgive yourself that you believed some of these lies that led you astray, and just you have the chance in every minute to start new and fresh. Isn't that wonderful? You're never condemned forever and ever, and even longer than that. Nearly not imaginable, but well, it's a saying. You're not condemned forever and ever to stay the way you are. There's always a chance in a sickness, in a situation, and you can let your day, your week, review pass and have a different look at it and change where you feel you're not okay with it. And I brought some of the tools that helped me onto my YouTube channel in the self-help videos, like clearing your field of unwanted influence and old stuff that's ready to be let go of, or protect your space by claiming your space, your sacred space, or the forgiveness ritual of Ho'oponopono, which you do not only do for the sake of the other, you also do it for your own sake, because you don't want to be bent with someone that maybe betrayed you. So if you forgive him and you yourself, then you are free. If you don't do it and hold on to old grudges, well, then you're still bond with someone you would not like to be bond. In the end, it's quite simple, although sometimes it appears very difficult and convoluted. So that's why I wanted to emphasize today very much onto the soul's perspective, which is so different from our normal human ego mind perspective. And you cannot deal with a higher consciousness perspective with your ego mind, which just does not have the capacity to understand that or to rationalize that or even accept it as a different viewpoint. So That's what I wanted to share with you today. I leave you with that. Happy ponderings and digging deeper into yourself. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, I wish you all the best. Blessings, love, and light to you, beautiful souls on your soul path. Bye.